Gun fam, what's up? It's the Gun Brother. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm starting to sound like a broken record with this. I know I've said it before, and you'll hear me say it every time that it applies. But here we are in another situation where gun-free zones do not work. Let's go. All right, gun fam. So imagine you are celebrating or worshiping, whoever it is you celebrate or worship, whatever day of the week it is, and you're in you're that holy place or that calm, serene building, and you're ready to ask for forgiveness for all the crap you did last week, so you can do some more crap this week and ask for forgiveness next week. And you get into your calm place, you're just chilling, and then this happens. Yeah. So we've all seen it, the shooting at Joel Osteen's church in Lakewood, Texas. I guess that's the city, or Lakewood Church in Houston. It's a gun-free zone. We'll talk about that in a second, but I just want to talk about it in a couple of different layers. Of course, everybody's, analyzing it in different ways, but I always try to take it from a learning perspective. So first of all, I don't think people understand what gunshots sound like inside of a building, especially if it's far away. Everybody was so slow to react. But I guess that's the best you can do is you hear videos where you hear the sound and things like that. But when you start to hear those sounds, especially if you're unarmed, you need to get out. You need to start moving, go away from the sounds, and try to get yourself to safety. The other thing is to be in that situation and hear those shots go off and then realize that you're not armed. And I don't know what the majority, this is Texas, and for all of us that live outside of Texas, we think everyone in Texas has a firearm. As a matter of fact, you're born with one. Like when you come out, the doctor, I don't know if the doctor gives you one or if you come out with one in your hand, but we think that all of you have guns. So it's crazy to be in this situation, and I'm sure a lot of these people probably do own guns. But if you are, number one, a law-abiding citizen, and number two, you're God-fearing or religious or feature yourself as a good person, you don't have your gun on you in this situation because you're not supposed to. So hearing those shots go off and knowing that, and I'm not saying that if you do have your firearm, you hear those shots go off. If you're not trained, if this is not what you do professionally and for a living and have done it for life, I'm not saying you should jump up and go engage the shooter. But I am saying, let's say you're leaving, the shots stop, you don't know where they're coming from, and you run into the shooter. If you don't have your firearm, you have no chance of defending yourself. And that's what gun-free zones, that's the situation a gun-free zone creates. If we have a gun-free zone, a criminal does not care that it's a gun-free zone. They're going to bring the gun in anyway. So the gun-free zones make you a sitting duck. I don't know how many times I had to say that. I've talked about it when I was in New Mexico, and the Whole Foods had a sign up saying no guns are allowed, things like that. Yeah, crazy. Aurora, Colorado, the shooting at the movie theater, gun-free zone. Texas, Virginia Tech, gun-free zone because it's a school. And gun-free zones don't work. They just make you sitting ducks. But going back to this particular situation. Second layer I want to talk about is who stopped the shooter. 2 off-duty officers. I want to say one was some sort of federal agent and one was maybe local police or something like that. Either way, they were trained, they ran to the danger, they stopped the threat. 100% applause to those guys. Appreciate what they did. They definitely stopped further carnage or anything else that could have happened that day from that particular shooter. My question is this. That was cut and dry. Point blank. I don't even know. I mean, you can't get any cleaner than that. So why isn't that the answer when it's time to protect our children? I don't understand. It's like you say you want to protect the kids, a shooting happens, then you want to ban a gun that doesn't protect a soul. Because all you're banning the guns from are the people that are going to follow the law. And we aren't out being mass shooters. So if you keep wanting to write laws to protect, it doesn't make sense. You're writing a law, but you're not protecting anybody. What's the difference? Because Joel Osteen has the money to pay the officers. I'm sure we could have used $85 billion to protect all the schools in the country. So if you want to protect the kids by protecting the kids, not writing another law for law-abiding citizens who aren't committing these crimes. So that is a perfect example for you of protection. Joel Osteen, it's funny that his initials are J.O. But anyway, Joel paid the money to have these officers and they did the job. Unfortunately, the child was shot and the shooter introduced the child to the situation. So definitely unfortunate. The officers did the job that they were tasked to do and stopped the shooting. So if that doesn't make that the answer for you for our schools, I can't give you a better case than that. Number 3, and the most difficult thing to deal with when it comes to this whole situation, is mental illness. There was a dude that made this corny video a couple of years ago. It was on TikTok and I stitched it, and he was naming all of his shootings. He was like, this shooting, AR-15, that shooting, AR-15, this shooting, AR-15. And if the AR-15 is all in it, I was like, dude, every single shooting you name, I think except one, involved mental illness. Every single one. This one did as well. If I'm not mistaken, the main shooting did as well. The problem with that is, I don't have an answer for this. How do we defend against that? What do we do to keep people from resulting to the use of firearms, from resulting to murder or getting to that point with their mental illness? That's just tough. The people around you have to diagnose it. I have heard parts of this story where the people around this person they've been talking about it for years and nothing has been done about it. And with the main shooting, I believe he tried to self-commit into an institution because he knew he was having issues. So there, at some point, we have to start dealing with the mental illness issue. And I don't necessarily think it's red flag laws and things like that, because anybody can say they think someone else has an issue, and then that causes problems for that person. And those problems are forever once they're documented. So we don't want people to have the ability to just say it about somebody and ruin their lives because they're being vindictive. Maybe the person doesn't have mental illness. So you don't want, that's a slippery slope altogether. But mental illness is definitely at the root of a lot of, not even a lot, most active shooter situations. And that's been documented. So I don't care how you feel about it. That's the truth. Oh, and then let me show you. So in Texas, Penal Code 46.03, prohibited places for weapons. And we can scroll right now. Most of these places are kind of universal, but again, still they are gun-free zones, polling places, racetracks, secured area of an airport. We already know that. That's pretty standard, pretty universal. A place where the business derives 51% or more of its income from the sales of alcohol. I did not know that for on-premise consumption. I wouldn't have thought that for Texas. But as we scroll down to number 7, on the premises of a church, synagogue, or other established place of religious worship. So if you are a law-abiding citizen, just a good person, a child of whomever it is you worship, you would not have had your firearm on you in that situation. A criminal comes in with no regard for the law, and now you're sitting duck. The only thing you can do is hopefully escape. Try to get you and your people out. And if you come face to face with a shooter, you have no way of protecting yourself. If you think that's cool, live your life. I don't think that's cool, and I don't want to live that way. So gun-free zones are not the answer. More laws are not the answer. Banning guns, it's not the answer. Criminals are going to do what they want to. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, this is We can't sue anybody for having a gun-free zone and us getting hurt, but they want to sue gun manufacturers for the shooter having their gun. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. So with that being said, you guys chime in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Also, please subscribe. Please hit like. And even if you don't do it for my videos, any 2A creator or content maker video that you like, please make sure you hit the like and please make sure you share it. 2A content is getting strangled on every platform. People's videos are getting taken down, deleted. People's accounts are getting shadow banned or they throttle your videos back. Please like, please subscribe, please share. With that being said, the Gun Brothers out. I'll talk to you guys soon.